If you start going in and getting engaged with people, I mean, this could become a full-time endeavor, and you could stop working altogether. In fact, Kirsten and I came across a company once where they found the girl was on Facebook and Twitter 8 hours of the 8 hours she was working, and it was not work related in the slightest, right? I could see how could become overwhelming for somebody. Where should someone focus their efforts, and what kind of ideas should they what should they do?
Yeah, it can get very overwhelming, and I spend a ton of time on it myself, of course, and my whole staff does. But I mean, the first thing I want to say is don't let that overwhelm and the potential overwhelm keep you from getting started and keep you from committing to at least a certain amount of time each day. So maybe a half an hour a day minimum. Now, how do you spend that half hour? To your point, you got to think about what's going to give you the most return over time. So, does it pay to engage with a random person versus engaging with someone that's clearly a prospect versus engaging with somebody that's clearly an influencer and potentially, could get your message out or help you, with their thousands and thousands of people that they could reach. Well, probably the influential person is more valuable for you to engage with than your actual direct prospect, because over time, that person could have a much bigger effect over your business.
Gotcha. It's interesting. Jeffrey Gitomer's Social Boom. I wrote a section in that book, but part of it is very similar to what you're talking about. Is devote kind of that half an hour a day to this, because if you don't, guess what? Your competitors already are. So it's you really have to spend time doing this, because, and I'll use a real estate agent for example, right? In Calgary, there's about 5,000 where we live, and I can think of only a handful that really leverage social media very well. And I'm guessing they're spending an hour to 2 hours a day doing this, whereas the other guys are picking up the phone, making cold calls, or sending out leaflets or something, and they're wondering why their business isn't working anymore. So just a point that I was making against what you were saying is just really you got to put the effort in.
Yeah, you have to spend some time and you have to be smart about it, because it can be a time suck. If you're spending, you could spend 10 hours a day on Twitter or LinkedIn or Facebook, just playing games and goofing off, and then that's not actually helping your business at all.